Alright, guys, here we are back for another guide, hole number 5. Now, this should be pretty straightforward with what we need to do. It's going to be very similar to the last time we played it. The only difference being last time I think I went win 5, and if you guys didn't catch it, I was able to get it. I did accidentally bring backbone. It just kind of changes the ring adjustment, but I kind of mentioned that in the other guide. So keep that in mind, but you might want to check it out because, I was able to get the hole out there with the win 5 balls. So we're just going to go free to play ball this time. So Kingmaker. Definitely try to stay off on the top spin a little bit. Just a hair under 3. Also note that my opponent, kind of too much on the curl there. You can see with where you're setting up over here, you're really not going to need much. I'm going to do this, maybe right at the max line, give or take just a little bit more. Perfect ball. And right here onto the fairway. Now what this typically does is it leaves me at B52 kind of at the max. Now, if I get up there too close, I may put it to where, this is just a little bit too much. So you need to be careful. But I did do the rough bump. As I mentioned, you should be able to do this fairway hop shot too if you have to. I would imagine no more than that on the top spin. It should, even though the guide shows a little bit short, it should be rolling through. I think that's about 2 top spins, probably enough. So let's take a look at this shot. I would imagine 6 rings, 6.5. Looks pretty good. Maybe a great ball. I'm just trying to think of ways that this missed. So it actually looked pretty good for the setup. So let's just see how it comes in. Just off is all. So one of the things that I mentioned is, with that rough bump, a lot of times you have a lot more margin for error. That's one of my favorite things about this. Now it looks like I am right on kind of the in-betweener here. So this is not ideal. So you'd either want to, in fact, I'm just going to, just so you guys can have one of each guide, I'm just going to go ahead and chip backwards here. So one of the things that you can do is just kind of gently gently top spin it, kind of emulate what I was doing just to make sure that you keep it in that B52 distance. It's going to make the shot play just a little bit easier if you can just kind of keep it to that set distance every time. And typically what it'll require is about 4 on the top spin. So here you can see now we're in the B52 range. I'll typically play this right around 3 on the top spin. And you can see all these spots are pointing to the same guide. You see that? It tells me that I have a lot of room for error. So more so than anything, I just need to kind of master the way that I kind of put this guide. So you'll see that I might just keep it just a little bit to the left because of wind effect. So wind effect is going to kind of blow it to the right. So that's what I'm going to do there. I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 8-ish rings in this case. Maybe just a little bit more. 8.1 or so. Perfect ball. And as I mentioned, there should be a lot of room for error here. So the biggest thing is going to be getting that guide. And it looks like I was able to get it again. So keep in mind that I kept that guide to the left because I knew that it was going to change a little bit because of wind effect. So, but more or less, all those points, even with a great ball, there's a good chance that I was going to get that to fall. So keep that in mind. I was able to get it with B52. I was able to get it with backbone. So, check out those guides. Good luck with that hole, guys, and see you guys on the next one.